Many Magic the Gathering players ask the question, is it worth it to buy the Magic Origins Clash Pack Armed and Dangerous? Is this Clash Pack better or worse than previous Clash Packs? Is it a better buy than the other pre-constructed Magic products on the market now? Better or worse for who? In order to make this determination, we must look at several things. Does the Clash Pack have good financial value? Is this the proper purchase for a new and returning player who is looking to start playing at FNM? What about an experienced player? What about for casual players just wanting to get some fun and enjoyment? These are the criteria we will be examining in this video as we try and determine whether this is a product for many, for some, or for none. Let's take a look. Armed and Dangerous contains the following. So, if you wanted to purchase the complete contents of this Clash Pack individually, as of the filming of this video, it would cost you an average of $70. Since the Clash Pack has an MSRP of $29.99, that means that the contents are worth more than double the price paid. But as we've said in previous videos, much of these pre-constructed sealed products contain bulk, by which of course I mean commons, uncommons, and rares worth far less than $1 each, which in high numbers can raise the total value of a product, but may not have any true application. So if we look only at cards worth $1 or more, we are left with 8 cards. Now, if I were to buy these 8 cards individually, it would cost me $39.85, which is almost $10 above the MSRP. But in addition to that, with the exception of that hierarch, these cards are all seeing play not only in Standard, but many of them, most of them, are even being used in Modern. Windswept Heath and Collected Company both will be in play in most formats until they are banned, meaning major long-term value here. But even cards like Siege Rhino, and to a lesser extent Anafenza and Dramoka's Command, are seeing play outside of Standard, predominantly in Modern. So financially, this is a real home run. These cards not only have value, but will likely retain value. But what about for new and returning players? Is this something they should be purchasing if they are on the road to Friday Night Magic? Armed and Dangerous has a lot to offer new and returning players. While still not FNM playable right out of the box, this Clash Pack sets those players on the right track by giving them so many cards currently seeing play in Standard and a large assortment of useful commons and uncommons to build their library with. New and returning players can draft a clear strategy for upgrades, whether that means pursuing the pieces needed to build anything from Abzan Aggro to Green-White Company, or simply using the usefulness of those included money cards to trade towards the deck they want to build. A new and returning player purchasing Armed and Dangerous is walking away with a tool belt from which they can begin to build many things. Now, for experienced players, anyone who was in the market for a Windswept Heath, Collected Company, and things like a Siege Rhino or Anafenza, well, those players are going to do better just purchasing this Clash Pack instead of buying those singles. It's great when product like this contains so many staples being used in Standard. In fact, it reminds me of one of the strongest event decks made in the last few years, Underworld Herald, which was pursued heavily by experienced players due to its stash of what at the time were chase rares. For collectors, the alternate art selections are mostly cards that see play, which is giving great potential for value. By getting alternate art on things like Siege Rhino and even Seeker of the Way is going to make many collectors happy, as well as people who just want to bling out their Modern or EDH decks. I do think it's too bad the Windswept Heath wasn't alternate art, but perhaps that's me asking for too much. I will say it's very puzzling that the featured cards are Dramoka the Eternal Sentinel, and the incredibly disappointing Honored Hierarch. Did Wizards really think this thing was better than it is? If they knew it was a dud, why feature it? That's confusing to me. Siege Rhino makes a lot more sense than Dramoka, but even excusing that on the basis of Dragon always equals intrinsic superiority, that Hierarch is just a $1 rare and is on nobody's list of favorites from the set. Even in a quality product like this, there's always room for some improvement, I suppose. But these are minor nitpicks. Casual players who aren't interested in playing at their local game stores Friday Night Magic, but instead prefer the comfortable kitchen table, can still get a lot of play out of these decks, whether by playing them against each other for a fairly balanced experience, or perhaps these players can just choose to divide up the cards and use them as upgrades in their own casual decks. Again, less chaff and more chase is positive for everyone, casual and experienced player alike. Final conclusion, I can say with absolute certainty that Armed and Dangerous has now set the standard by which all future Clash packs will be judged. It contains cards that will retain value both throughout this standard run and even past rotation, meaning that you have the power of format staples for your own library or as excellent trade fodder. I hope very much to see Wizards of the Coast maintain this level of excellence with their pre-constructed decks and other sealed product. Give us cards that are both staples and constructed and that are in need of reasonable price reduction, and you give us something that is absolutely worth it. Grade A-. I hope this video has been of some help to you, and remember, whether purchasing a Clash pack, Deck Builder's Toolkit, Fat Pack, booster packs, or just a pack of card sleeves, try and spend that money where you spend time playing Magic the Gathering, and that's at your local game store whenever possible. You're supporting your Magic community. And this video has been brought to you by the generous support of patron alums at Patreon, and by the support of viewers like you. Thank you.